one is something that will happen regardless of what guild you're in, at what point of the game you're at. Whether it's a casual guild, raiding guild, Mythic Plus guild, it doesn't matter. It happens to every guild. People will come and go. It's inevitable. Not every guild is for everybody. Even within your scope, if you're a Mythic Raider, if you're a Mythic Plus person only, and you join a Mythic Plus group or guild, that guild might not be for you, and that's totally cool. It's cool if people butt heads. It's cool that people get along super well. Shit happens. The only thing I would ask is people to be more civil whenever you butt heads. Sometimes you guys just need to like walk away and like cool down and then come back. At the end of the day, we are friends. Or I would like to think we're all friends. So we're coming in to meet people, kill things together, and have a good time for it. But things can get heated, and that's totally normal. But if someone leaves, they leave. If someone comes, they come. Just keep uh, our normal. Like we haven't really had that many issues with people with terms of attitudes. Like normally, it's squashed pretty quickly. And I'd like to think our environment has been fostered to a pretty cool degree. So I'm pretty proud of all the personalities that we have, and we do get along well with each other at some point or another. I mean, I'm sure I've had some disagreements with some people, but I don't hate anybody. But just know, people can come, people can go. It's bound to happen. But at the end of the day, we're still together as a family, and we are going to go into the war within with the same mentality and go kill some more shit. Um, my DMs and every officer's DMs are open, so if you guys have any issues with anything, including myself or any of the officers, just let us know. We can't fix anything if we don't know. Moving on to the next one. Season 4 is kind of a weird time because it's not very exciting. A lot of people in a lot of guilds take Season 4 as a kind of a breather before they know life, the War Within, or the next expansion. So, you know, I get it that if you're a constant player and you log it on, you might not see, a lot of people on. It's normal. Hopefully they figure something out for like the Season 4 for the next expansion and above so that it's a little bit more interesting. But I don't particularly mind it because I do take Season 4 as like, okay, we'll raid as much as we can. And then once people kind of slow down, okay, let's take a breather because we are going to know life the shit out of the War Within, especially in the beginning. I don't know how many of you guys have done like launch, like expansion launches for like Mythic raiding, but there's a lot of requirements, especially as you gear up. Um, and I know at the moment it seems kind of shitty logging on and not seeing that many people or not currently raiding, but trust me, you're gonna be very thankful that you had this time to kind of like just be social, go out and have fun, play the games, whatever. Because once the War Within happens, you're gonna want to sit down, and if you come in going into that situation already like still just nonstop from Season 4, you're gonna hate yourself. So I know it sucks, but it's a good thing. So enjoy the current period. I'm sure the officers have something in the works for like guild events. I think Ty was talking about something about a raid. I think.
Yeah, that's something Shibs kind of kicked around previously. Like, basic gist would be people would break into teams of 10. We'd run heroic. We'd play non-main characters, non-main roles. So I would have to DPS. So whoever is on my team would be at a disadvantage. Um, Stuff like that.
Could you imagine Shiv's healing?
He's actually not terrible, to be honest.
I would love to see that.
I'm a little rusty.
So yeah, we do have some stuff in the meantime.
No, he just has to play a mage.
Okay, that's season 4. Just trust me, you guys are gonna be thankful that you're having this downtime. It's gonna be crazy, but it's so far the War Within seems to be pretty interesting. Hopefully, like I said, season 4 of that expansion, hopefully there'll be something to kind of keep us a little bit more entertained. But in the meantime, just try to enjoy the rest of the current expansion. Speaking of the War Within, and speaking from experience, a lot of people are going to no life it. A lot of people are going to take time off from work to do it. I fully support it. Whatever you want to do, it's your call. I don't expect anyone to take off of work just to bum rush leveling and gearing. There's plenty of time before we hit Mythic. So please take your time leveling. Enjoy it. It goes by really fast. The story, the first time around, I get it. You want to rush to the end to get to the quote important stuff, but enjoy it. It's really the time to enjoy it and the time to just chill and don't over no life it, because you are gonna burn yourself out too much. Once you do get to the max level, we are gonna do lots of dungeons. Prioritize some professions that will give you the gear that you're looking for, and I'm gonna kind of bring in something that I'm gonna talk about in a little bit too. Help each other. If you know someone has a profession, try to help them by getting them mats to craft your stuff rather than go outside of the guild. Because that will give them more experience and more oomph on their professions so that we can get more people all around better stuff. I would prefer to keep as much as possible in the guild rather than going outside of the guild, because I know Lag also has a plethora of fucking professions. He is a profession guy. But if he's not available, that's cool. Look for someone else who can craft stuff. Don't just be like, Lag, are you on? No, okay, let me go outside. So, like, I know I'm going to be blacksmith and something else, but, like, spread the love in the guild. Help each other, especially during leveling. If you find something that is not going to get you banned, please help each other. Be like, hey, I found this really cool spot that has this whatever, and it seems to be way better than going somewhere else. Share that. Just keep it spoiler free in the chats. Like, don't spoil the story, don't spoil anything that's major plot holes. Just keep it spoiler free. On that note, don't be stupid, and don't do shit that gets you banned. And it's going to be very clear if something is more than likely going to get you banned. So please don't be dumb, because I don't want to have to replace you because you can't make it to raids because you got banned over something dumb. So keep an eye out. If you have to question if it's going to get you banned, it's probably going to get you banned. So please watch that. As we go into our targeted content, expectations are still the same. We are currently not CE yet, but we do have major potential to get to CE. The goal of this expansion is going to push to get to CE. We have an amazing team. I'm sure there'll be replacements here and there. Like I said, people come and go, and that's totally normal. But our core group is very, very strong, and we proved it as we merged with Order of Chaos and Nightfall. We rebuilt an entire team, and we had to rework together to kind of get the gist of how both groups worked together. That's already hard enough as it is, but we still went in. And we got progression on bosses. So that's huge. That showed that we have a lot of potential to actually get to CE. So that is our goal, is to try to push to CE, or at the very least, like like up to the last boss. If we can get that, I'll be extremely happy. It is not an easy goal. I understand that.
Race to world last. Here we go.
Yes, but my goal is to get really close to E or get ACE this expansion, which I think is extremely attainable with our current group. So, prepare for raids. Please don't just expect your gear to come from raids. I get that sometimes you get shit luck. I get that some best in slots may come from raids, but there's going to be second best or third best that come from dungeons or Mythic Plus that will help you in the raids. Please don't just go after the best in slots. Like if something comes from raid, get something from Mythic Plus to help you get to that point. Make sure you're filling out your vaults, especially earlier on in the season. They are going to be super important. Try to get your. I think they're still keeping the 10s, right? Make sure you fill out the 10s so you get the highest possible item level from your vault. And this is going to be very important as we go into the Mythic fights. Please look up the fights prior to it. Don't just wait until we go over it during the fight. We will be going over each fight before we go into it, but please just do some research. It actually helps you a shit ton of time when you go into it already kind of expecting at least the basics. So you're not being told, all right, here's what the boss does, but then you're just failing at positioning or whatever because you didn't look into it beforehand. Going into the War Within, we're going to get hero trees. Please select your optimal spec setups for each fight. I know that some fights will use other hero talents, other ones will use other ones. Please have multiple setups for the type of fight that we're going into it. You have a shit ton of safe spots on your talent trees. Please use them. It's going to be very important. Don't just pick the cookie cutter and use that for everyone. It's not going to work. You're going to be struggling. That's most of the expectations. But the main section is just help each other. We're friends. We're guildies. If you see someone looking for a group, put yourself in there. If you see someone who's looking for something to be crafted, just help out. Just be friendly. Don't just live in a bubble. Because at the end of the day, those people who are falling behind because they're not getting help could cost us raids. Because that means we're going to have to catch them up. So spread the love. Be nice. Play friends. Do dungeons. Help each other. I know there's a section coming up for Loot Council. Before I go into that one, does anyone have any questions or comments up until this point? All right, cool.
Oh, Grum, one thing came to
Yeah.
mind. For those of you who are switching classes, just be warned that there is going to be a period of time that it's going to take you to improve your skill to kind of match where you've been on your historical main. So take that into account, as we're getting ready for the raid. Make sure you're doing your homework, studying the videos, watching what the experts are doing, and figuring out how to play these classes properly if you're new to them. Because we don't want you guys starting from behind and playing it wrong and having to struggle. Be nice to, firing all cylinders from the get-go.
That's a good point. A great way to practice is as much as it sucks at pugs. Because that's when shit goes wrong pretty often. And I know it can be frustrating, but trust me, you learn a lot more from learning a class in pugs because they kind of force you to use more of your toolkit than playing with people who are actually competent. I know that sounds weird, but pugs are really nice for that. Just don't overdo it. Okay. Loot Council. We did a vote earlier in content. You guys decided to go full Loot Council, so every piece that drops will be Loot Counciled. We're going to be working on specifics, but One of you guys want to talk more about that?
You seem shocked about that, though.
Not shocked. It's just a lot of work.
So the basic premise behind the way we're going to do loot council is there's a spreadsheet that's released every season that gives piece by piece upgrade stats for each class. I'll use like Neltharian's call
Inspect.
to inspect. Thank you. Neltharian's call to dominance, for instance. Everybody knows what that is. Pretty fucking good trinket a couple seasons ago. So it would break down class by spec, like DPS gain based on eye level, and relative gain in reference to pretty much every other class as well. So I've had a long day and my brain isn't functioning on all cylinders. So we're going to use that to guide our how we're going to give people gear. It's going to be a system based on relative gain from each piece. It's not going to be based on who's friends with who. It's going to be specifically how it benefits the raid best. Shock, do you want to talk a little bit more about that?
I mean, those from Org Chaos pre-merger, they kind of got the rundown on it. Most of us here who are officers, we are not fans of raid logging. That is very well known about that. So with the new site we're going to be using, blah, 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 this is good for me, this is not so good. Not only will quote-unquote raid performance be a factor, but when the raids first drop, Mythic Plus opens, people maxing their vaults and doing their keys, they will be, again, higher on that sheet. This is kind of a way to force people to stop raid logging. Because even if your shit does come from raid, nothing really need for Mythic Plus. Doing Mythic Plus for nothing is better than just not doing it at all. You learn your class more if you're playing something new, you're learning the current content, so again, if you don't need anything, keep doing Mythic Plus. For the first few weeks, we're going to look at people who are maxing their vaults, not necessarily like, 8 of 8, but people who are even doing 6 and 7, that'll be great. If you have like a valid reason, like, busy work, life stuff came up, obviously real life comes first. So just, let one of the officers know, shit coming up, maybe I can't make a raid day, my attendance won't be good, my raid attendance won't be good in general. Just keep that in mind.
Yeah, when I first started talking, I had just gotten back from the door. The water, city water was fixing my water main. I haven't had water for the last few days. Luckily, I was out of town, so my brain wasn't all collected. We are going to be using something called ReadyCheck.io. So this puts a lot of the onus on raiders to update and maintain their best in slot items within a database on our guild page on readycheck.io.com, I think is what it is. I'll post the page later. So basically what you want to do throughout the season, and as you attain different gear or find some gear is different, or your best in slot shit changes, because that changes from week to week in the first couple weeks. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to that website, update it, and just make sure it's maintained. So if there's a day that comes where you roll BIS on something, but we go to your checklist and you don't even have that listed as BIS, it's kind of, we're not going to lean towards giving you that piece of gear. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah, let's not use the soundboard right now.
Yeah, but the basic gist is, it's going to be on you guys and to maintain your BIS list so that we know what your BIS gear is. And so it's a lot less time for us besides checking that spreadsheet database to know the relative power gain we'll know that it is in fact your BIS piece, and it'll go a long ways towards helping us hand out gear a lot quicker. Because as I don't know if you guys have all used RC Loot Council before or any sort of loot council, it takes quite a while. So the shorter amount of time we can spend on it, the better. That's all I've got on that.
Cool.
I'm just trying to think if I forgot anything. Fuck no. I can't remember.
No, all right, that's fine. Okay, so we got that one done. Okay. During raiding, let's focus more on doing mechanics and our performance and the fight in general. We've had several times where people like to banter around, and that's totally cool. During trash, highly encouraged. Be a doofus as long as we get, trash done in a decent manner. Let's not go too crazy. Like if the banter is causing wipes and trash, then that might be a problem. If the wipe is due to the banter, not because of mechanic that went off, obviously. But during a raid progression or even just bosses doing farming, I get killing the boss like the 10th time is not super exciting. I get it, but if fucking around causes us to die on a boss that we really shouldn't be dying because people are just not paying attention, please pay attention. Boss fights is to pay attention. If you want to mess around, do it in trash. Please, just focus a little bit more on bosses. It will cut down on a lot of the attempts where we're going for a kill. As you go into a new boss, obviously there's going to be practice bowls where, okay, let's practice on the first phase, and that's the only phase we're going to practice on. Okay, cool. That's obviously going to probably wipe on the second phase or third phase or whatever. That's cool. But if we are killing a boss for like the 10th time and half the raid is just not paying attention, that's a problem. So like just boss time, focus time, trash, banter time. I only have one more thing to go over. We have a sheet going around. It's going to be, I think it's called roster form, Ty, right? Someone posted it in one of the channels.
That's a shrunk deal.
Whatever the form is called, it's posted. Shrunk, is there any way you can... It's pinned, right?
It's been pinned twice, yeah.
Okay. Ray chat, I believe.
General chat.
General.
Okay.
I also posted it again today, so if you just open up general, it's right there.
Cool. Please fill that out. If you're a raider, please fill it out. Especially if you intend to change your main. We're going to put a time limit on that. If you don't fill it out by a certain time, you're not changing mains. Because I'm not going to sit here and the War Within comes in and we're all working on working character and you just hit us with, hey, Grammy or whatever, I want to switch characters. Don't do that. You knew long ago that you wanted to switch characters, so just please fill out the form. Let us know if you intend to change characters or not. Please do it. It really doesn't take long. Just fill it out. Even if you don't intend to change mains, just fill it out because there's some more information on there that will help us whenever we do have callouts or whenever we have a need for something. So please don't procrastinate. Literally, it takes not even 5 minutes. Please do it. Please, please. It is going to be super important for us. That's all on my agenda. Does any of you guys want to say anything else? Shib, Strong, Ty?
In that
Zero?
vein, if you do intend to change mains, and you switch mains and you fucking hate it, try to figure that out within the first week so you have time to course correct and just let us know. Obviously, don't gear it to max possible level and then say, maybe I don't like it. Don't waste too much time on it if you realize you don't particularly like it off the bat.
Yeah, now's a good time to get in the beta if you have it and try out the new
Everybody
class.
has it. PTR is open.
There you go. Everyone's got it. If you're just in your class, get in there, fuck around on it. Make sure you're not going to regret your decision.
I mean, obviously, tuning things will change, but I don't know what I'm going to play 100% until we see what the final tuning's like.
Yeah, and I feel like that's the expectation for a lot of people. Just try to figure it out early on.
You can do like I do, though. Just list the few things that you're interested in playing.
Exactly.
It's good to keep your options open. Don't restrict too much. Just because, like, a good gist of it is if you enjoy the gameplay, I would rather have someone who really likes the character and is good at that character, and it might be middle of the road, versus someone who's playing like the number one spec but hates it, because they're not going to be very good at it. I'd rather you do the best that you can on a character that you enjoy than struggle on a character that everyone says it's the best thing ever, but you're clearly struggling. So
you'd rather be Kiori than Astoris?
no. But you know what I mean? Like, I would rather you guys enjoy what you're playing, because you tend to work a lot harder on that character versus you just hate the character, but everyone's saying it's number one damage. Because it also saves us from the, I'm really hating this character, I want to switch it in like 2 weeks. You know what I mean? I'm kind of avoiding that situation. But definitely have a couple of options, because like someone said, tuning is very loose, especially in the beginning. That's all I had. Anyone else have anything? Cool.
Oh,
Any
raid
comments?
times, nothing's changing that way?
No, raid times are the same.
And when will you post something that says kind of loosely what we're looking at comp-wise? Like, what buffs are we needing?
When we have a more complete list of people filling out the form.
Yeah, I think what I can say with confidence right now, we are missing a monk buff, but that doesn't mean we necessarily need a monk. Shibs has shown interest in playing Windwalker, but as we get closer and closer to the, I guess, release date, I will let people know, like, hey, we need whatever it is.
Master's looking really strong.
It is, but fuck that.
Yuck.
If we need a monk buff, I'll play Brewmaster, I'll say that, but as of right now...
Do we have like 80 hunters, though?
We have 1. Usually we have 80, but as of right now, we do not need anything specifically.
Nice.
Yeah, we're looking pretty good as far as I know. And if it changes, we'll be looking to see if anyone wants to fill that spot, or if we have to recruit specifically for that, we'll have to. But so far, we're looking pretty good.
And if anyone here hasn't filled out the form, just please go on ahead and do so right after this. I mean, there's not really any point in kicking that can down the road, because it'll be fresh on your mind.
Hold on 1 second. I can manually change answers. So if you fill it out, you decide, maybe I'll play something else, just let me know, and I can change it myself on there.
My suggestion would be, and the officers and I can talk about this, but by the time pre-patch is, I don't know, we're 2 weeks away from August 10th, I think is the drop, right?
From the, what, the expansion? 22nd.
20, yeah.
Okay,
August
22nd.
26 is the actual game.
All right, so 2 weeks before, I expect that list to be finalized, and we'll send it out.
Yeah,
And then do we have a seasonal achievement?
7 of whatever number it is. Is it 10? 10 bird bosses?
I have no idea.
Yeah, whatever it is.
We want to get 2/3
7
down.
kills.
Yeah, right around 2/3.
Mhm.
And then if we meet that achievement, we get to see Shibs naked, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it's not a good motivation.
When that
Shibs,
long
Shibs
dick
only
guy.
fans?
The
There's
whole
only
reason I joined this guild.
Only Shibs?
only Shib's feet.
All right.
Let me
Anyone have
see them
any?
pinky toes.
Anyone have a serious comment or concern or questions before we go?
Who is the Loot Council?
As far as I know, it's one of the officers, and we were thinking, was it 2 guildies?
Yeah, 2, so it's 3 votes.
But Loot Master, I mean, I would say now my guess is Ty. I did it season 3. I do not want to do it again.
That's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's not really a job for Ty. It's more of a burden.
Mm-hmm.
Who's
But-
regularly going into the war then?
Probably the same as we do now. Kind of switch between Trunk and I.
I'm gonna need you both to cheer up, because you sound sad when you tell us strats.
There's so much to read.
I know, I'm just giving you a hard time.
I know.
Just
The
smile when you're doing it.
the current plan is the same as we've been doing it. That's subject to change, obviously. But as of right now, it's probably going to be Trunk and I, depending on the night.
And then what is are we jumping straight into heroic? Are we doing like based on I don't know what their release schedule is, right? But if are we waiting to get AOTC before we go to Mythic, or are we jumping into Mythic immediately?
We're gonna do probably the first week that's available. It's only heroic up to heroic that's available, so we're probably gonna do normal first to see as far as in as we can to kind of get the gist of the strats, and then go into heroic and see how far in we can go. Mythic is going to be a see how the tuning is. I would like to go into Mythic as soon as it's available, but going to heroic first. Kind of do how we do in the first week, but do heroic and then going to Mythic to see what we can kill. But the plan is to go into Mythic as soon as possible, so we can get a head start on that.
Basically, do heroic, hit a wall, go into Mythic, see as far as we can get.
Yeah.
Adjust strategies from there.
Yeah, ideally we will have 1 or 2 Mythic kills before we are AOTC.
Yeah, which based on historic tuning, it shouldn't be too bad. Hopefully.
I thought
Well,
you
there-
needed AOTC to get in their Mythic.
No.
Nope.
Only if you're bugging.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Once we get to the point where most of the loot is going to be DE'd or vendored or whatever, and we're just going after like some very specific things, then we'll probably just start extending, so we can focus more on getting further in rather than nitpicking those like 1 or 2 items that people need. Anything else?
Are we sticking with just 2 raid nights at the start of the raiding? Or are we going to have a third night just for a while? Or is it just 2?
Maybe 3.
I'll do 2 official ones. The third one, if we had a third one, I really don't want to overdo it in the beginning. But if we do a third one, it might not be like an official night. Let's make that one a TBD. We'll let you know as we get closer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tuesday would be the day then, if it happens?
More than likely, yeah. As we get closer to it, like I'll do a lot more posts, and there's gonna be. I'll try to post class guides and spec guides and all the good shit as you get near release when things are a little bit more tuned out, if that makes sense. And that'll include some more solid information on, okay, if we do a third night, is it official? Is it not official? For how long are we going to do it? It's definitely not going to be long term. It's like long term is going to be 2 nights. But if we do a third night, it's definitely going to be Tuesday. because that seems to be like the day where most people are available. Anything else? Awesome.
Yep.
Well,
nothing.
hopefully we'll kick some pretty good ass pretty fast in The War Within, but as long as you guys enjoy it, and it's looking to be a pretty good expansion so far. Crossing my fingers. And thanks for showing up. I know it's technically an off night currently, but appreciate it. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week.
Au revoir.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.